Hello, this is Dodie from Deliberate Aging. Welcome to my podcast. One of the latest buzzwords in the fitness industry is macros. So what are they, and do we really need to care about them? To really understand macros, we first need to talk about food. Not just what we eat, but why it matters. Have you ever wondered why some people thrive on certain diets while others struggle? Or why the same meal might affect you differently as you age? Well, the answer boils down to macronutrients, commonly called macros. These aren't just a trendy buzzword thrown around in fitness circles. Macros are the foundation of everything our body does. They fuel our energy, support muscle growth, keep our brains sharp, and impact our long-term health. Getting the right balance isn't just about looking good, it's about feeling good and staying strong through the years. So whether you're a fitness junkie, a health-conscious eater, or just someone who wants to understand food better, this is for you. So let's break it down in a way that makes sense. So what are macros anyways? Think of macronutrients as the three major players in your diet. There are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And basically every food that you eat, it's broken down into one of those three macronutrients. And each macro plays a distinct role, and balancing them is the key to your health. The first macro we'll talk about are carbohydrates, the energy source. Now, carbs often get a bad rap, but they're your body's favorite source of energy. When you eat carbs, they're broken down into glucose, which fuels everything, your brain, your muscles, even basic bodily functions. So there are two types of carbs. Simple carbs, like sugar and white bread, provide quick energy but can spike blood sugar. These are usually referred to as the bad carbs. And when someone tells you they're going on a carb-free diet, these are typically the things they try to eliminate. But then there's also complex carbs, like whole grains, vegetables, and legumes, which digest slower, providing steady energy and fiber for gut health. And these are the things that your body really needs. So think of carbs like fuel. Just like your car, your body needs the right type to run efficiently. The second macronutrient is proteins, or the building blocks. Now, proteins are responsible for muscle repair, immune function, and countless other processes. And you can get them from two sources. Number one, animal sources, such as meat, fish, eggs, and dairy. But then there's also plant sources, such as beans, nuts, tofu, and legumes. And whether you're an athlete or just someone wanting to maintain strength as you age, protein keeps your body in check. The third macronutrient is fats, or the long-term fuel and protector. Now, fats are not the enemy. They help with brain function, hormone production, and long-term energy storage. But just like carbs, there's a good and a bad. There's healthy fats like avocados, nuts, and olive oil, which support heart health. And then, of course, there's the unhealthy fats like processed trans fats that can lead to health issues over time. Think the fat that's in all of the processed pastries in the grocery store, or the French fries from your favorite fast food restaurant. So balancing these three macronutrients is crucial. Too much or too little of any one can throw your body off. So why does balance matter? Say you've ever tried a diet that eliminated an entire macro, such as low-fat craze. You may have felt sluggish, cranky, or just off. That's because all three macros are essential. Say you're cutting carbs, you get too few carbs and you might feel exhausted and have trouble concentrating. If you're not getting enough protein, you could lose muscle mass and feel weak. If you're avoiding fats completely, your hormones and brain function may suffer. So balance matters, not just in the short term, but for longevity. It's about getting your body what it needs to perform at its best, not just today, but for the long haul. So our macronutrient needs change over our lifetime. And as much as we love consistency, our macro needs will shift as we grow. So childhood and adolescence, growing bodies need plenty of protein for development and healthy fats for brain function. In adulthood, where maintaining muscle mass and energy levels become a priority, meaning a balanced mix of all three macros is key. But then as you get into your senior years, protein intake becomes even more crucial to prevent muscle loss. Seniors do not process protein efficiently in their younger years, so adequate protein is essential for healthy aging. Also, certain fats help with cognitive functions and inflammation, which is important as we get into our senior years. So the important point is your needs aren't static. Understanding how they evolve helps you make informed choices through every stage of life. So how do we find balance between the three macronutrients? And how do we make sure we're eating the right mix? Well, number one, listen to your body. If you're constantly tired or hungry, it might be a sign that something is off. But focus on whole foods. Processed junk food makes it harder to meet your macro goals in a meaningful way. Adjust based on your activity level. So athletes may need more protein and carbs, while sedentary people require fewer overall calories. Just experiment and track. Some people thrive on different macro ratios. Find what works for you. The key is not following rigid trends, but understanding your body's unique needs. And of course, you could always enlist the help of a professional, a registered dietitian, to help if you really wanted to explore this further. So now I'm going to tackle a few common myths and misconceptions. Number one, carbs make you fat. Ever heard that? I bet we all have, right? But it's not true. Excess calories cause weight gain, not any specific macro. Remember what I said earlier. There are good carbs and there are bad carbs. The bad ones definitely can make you fat and unhealthy. Think sugar and white flour. Whereas the good carbs are essential for optimum health. Think tomatoes, broccoli, and oranges. These foods provide nutrients, minerals, and fiber that is a necessity for good health. Myth number two, fat is bad. Nope, not true. Healthy fats are essential for brain function and heart health. Essential fatty acids are a type of fat that is needed by humans but cannot be manufactured by your body, which means that you have to eat foods that contain these fats, such as salmon and avocados. Myth number three, high protein diets damage your kidneys. Well, this only applies if you have a pre-existing kidney disease, and most people will benefit from adequate protein. So the point is that misinformation around macros is everywhere. Learning the truth is the best way to make informed decisions. So, in conclusion, at the end of the day, nutrition isn't about extremes, it's about balance. Whether you're young or old, active or sedentary, macros shape your health in profound ways. Instead of fearing food, embrace the knowledge that you get to decide what works for your body. Make choices that fuel you, not just for today, but for a lifetime. So personally, I've never paid much attention to macros, and I know that I typically don't eat enough protein. So I have enlisted the help of a registered dietitian to help me track my macros. This will be a 4-month experiment, so wish me luck. I will report back when my program is completed, but currently I feel great. I've been on the program for a couple weeks now, and I have much more energy now that I've upped my protein content. I'm using MyFitnessPal, which is a free app on my iPhone to track my macros in case you'd like to track along with me. My first assignment was to begin tracking my food, and I'll be honest, I was shocked to see how low my protein intake actually was. And yes, tracking everything you eat, every bit of food you put into your mouth is a little bit tedious, but it is really revealing and it's showing me some of my bad habits. So wish me luck, and as I said, I will report back with my findings when the program is over. Thanks for listening. This is Dodie from Deliberate Aging. Until next time, be well, friends. This podcast is presented solely for informational and educational purposes only. Use of information from this podcast is at the user's own risk. It is not intended as a substitute for the advice of your physician or other qualified professional. We are not responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from use of this podcast.